A ferocious tiger slowly walked past downstairs. The girl's eyes widened instantly. Fear overwhelmed her like a tidal wave. She forced herself to suppress her extreme fear. She wanted to open the window to escape, but found that the window had been securely boarded up. She pushed with all her might, but the boards didn't budge. It turned out that because a hurricane was coming, her stepfather had someone seal all the doors and windows yesterday. But the girl didn't know that. The tiger had also been deliberately released by her stepfather and had been starved for 2 weeks beforehand. The girl wanted to call for help, but her phone was in the laundry room on the first floor. She could only steel herself and gently open a crack in the door. After confirming that the tiger hadn't come upstairs, she hurriedly took action. She went to her brother's room, but the window here was also sealed shut. She lifted her brother's blanket and found that he wasn't in bed at all. She was frantic with worry and searched everywhere in the tent and under the bed, but she couldn't find her brother anywhere. Had her brother gone downstairs? With no other choice, she mustered up her courage and went downstairs. At the corner, she cautiously observed her surroundings, confirmed there was no tiger, and immediately rushed into the laundry room to finally retrieve her phone. She hurriedly called the police, but due to the hurricane causing frequent accidents, the emergency line was constantly busy and she couldn't get through. The girl opened the door and softly called out her brother's name. Suddenly, a deep tiger's roar echoed from behind her. The girl was so scared that she ran away. She ran all the way to the back door, but when she opened the door, she still saw the wooden board. The tiger's roar echoed through the room. The girl was so anxious that her eyes were red. She tried to break the wooden board with all her might, but it remained as solid as a rock. She lay down and kicked it with her feet, but the wooden board didn't budge. At this point, her movements had caught the tiger's attention. The girl had no choice but to hide in the laundry room again. She opened the window there and noticed that the wooden boards were loosening. She quickly grabbed an iron and started hitting them. Just then, the tiger had already arrived at the door. The thin wooden door couldn't withstand the tiger's impact. As the tiger was about to break through the door, the girl quickly grabbed a trash can and used it as a step to try to climb into the pipe above. She jumped repeatedly and finally succeeded. The tiger walked past her in the next second and smelled the scent of a human. It then paced around the room, reluctant to leave. The girl hid in the pipe, her feet pressed tightly against the pipe wall. Her muscles were already aching unbearably, but she could only grit her teeth and endure it. Suddenly, her phone rang. It was a call from the police, but she could only watch helplessly as the tiger smashed the phone with one swipe of its paw. She gradually lost her strength. Sweating profusely, she kept sliding down. She could only struggle to climb up. Sweat trickled down the pipe wall and eventually dripped on the ground. The tiger noticed, licked up the sweat, and then discovered the girl hiding in the pipe. It lunged upward desperately, and the girl also struggled to move upward. The tiger's sharp claws left deep scratches on the pipe wall. It was about to reach the girl's feet. At that critical moment, the girl mustered incredible strength and struggled to move upward until she finally crawled out of the pipe opening